This is my video response for Intimate Apparel. I thought something that was memorable about the play was that there was still a lot of stuff relatable today, even though it was set a while ago, especially in the realm of race, religion, and other social things that, like, it played with the idea of, like, kind of like taboos and whatnot. Um, how her being African American comes into play, her social status, the fact that she works for people of higher social status, the fact that the people who she's like the men who she's toying with are so different between Mr. Marks being Jewish to Mr. Van Buren to Mr. Armstrong, who she doesn't really know much about, but still she's just a regular worker where she could have a normal life, somewhat normal life, if she just accepted what she was expected to. Also, the importance of her being a seamstress. It's kind of like it's a private thing, and she plays a bit back then. Of course, that's were a big deal and whatnot about her. The things that she was sewing were a really big deal, and so the fact that she was the one who was responsible for those for such high, typically like white women who had more socioeconomic stature than her, um, but she was still trusted. I think that's kind of plays into not necessarily irony, but just like the inner workings of her and African American status at that time. So on points of conflict, big one was when she meets George and realizes it's not really what it seems. I think this is almost like a metaphor towards the American dream. There's a huge ideal about the American dream that's possible for everyone. Just like she had huge ideals about Mr. Armstrong, but in the end, it wasn't what expected. And a lot of times we hear about the American dream not being what people want it to be expected. The second point of tension was the sexual tension that she had between her and Mr. Marks. Everyone could tell it was there, but this is not allowed, especially him being Jewish and her being African American. And he's Orthodox Jew too, which is an even stricter form of religion. Again, playing on that whole social taboo sort of thing. And the third is when she catches George cheating with Mame. Um, Again, very taboo, adultery, along all those lines. Um, African American roles, I think there was more to, one, reinforce their stature at this time and the stature of a lower economic class, and two, also to reinvent. The reinventing part comes into play with her weird little flirtations with Mr. Marks. It's not really a thing that people would really think of. Maybe when you typically think of something like this, you'd think of her like being with some of a higher socioeconomic class, but in this case, it's Mr. Marks. And I think stereotypes still exist today, and especially African American stereotypes. And I think this is because it's going away, but we grow up and you hear about it, and it's on TV and stuff, and there are all these jokes, and there's still big differences between people. Even though it's more acceptance in today's day and time, I think it's still around because that's what we're raised knowing.